Can you imagine your life where money is your friend, working with you to achieve all your dreams and desires? If you struggle seeing money as your friend, then join Kathy Cook Noble, financial advisor and educator on understanding how your money can work for you. It is possible. Now, here is Financially Speaking with Kathy Cook Noble.
And what we do here on the Inspired Choices Network is we turn up the volume a little bit so you can hear me. Oh my goodness. I'm sure I was saying some great things out there, but I had myself turned down. So let me just start over. We are on the Inspired Choices Network, and this is Financially Speaking. And I'm so excited that I can't even get my volume straight. There you go. I'm so excited about our guests that we have tonight and the topic that we have tonight. I feel like it's been a long time since I've had a guest on. And, you know, every once in a while on the network, and specifically on our show here, we'll invite somebody to come on that has something that's either in the financial world, because, you know me, everything relates to finance anyway, or they have a really unique story or situation. And I like to always do that when we have, and I think the quality of the guests that we've had have been fantastic. So it's been a while since I've had someone that I could invite on and share all these great and wonderful things that fits the same bill of being awesome and exciting and got some great stories to share. And I do have that tonight. I know I do, and I'm biased because it's also a really good friend of mine. So what we do here at the Inspired Choices Network is we help build people's lives up to be better and greater than what they are right now, and by that standard of whatever it is that they have. So we don't have a standard where we say you have to make this much money or do this or work in a certain place. It's whatever works for you, and that's what the station and the network is all about, which is such a really unique and cool thing about the station, which is what I like about it, is that it gives you the opportunity to learn so much about so many different topics. And there's something, I guarantee that there is something on our network that will help you in whatever situation that you are questioning or going through or needing help with right now. Good, bad, or ugly, that's what we're here to help people with. And if you're out there and you're thinking, wow, I really think this is great and wonderful, and I too would like to be a host, well, guess what? You are certainly able to do that. We have our fearless leader, Christine McIver, and she will talk to you personally. This is one of those things where you can get straight through and talk to her directly, and you can talk to her about being your own host and sharing your own insight and your own ideas and conversations that there are people out there that need to hear. So keep that in mind, because we're always excited to have new people join us on the network and expand our reach and help people in as many ways as we possibly can. So, of course, you know, if you're joining me for the first time, Financially Speaking is mostly about our financial topics. And I say mostly because, I mean, really, how does everything not relate to money? Let's be honest. But we do, on occasion, have conversations about things that are related to money in a way, but not in a direct way that I normally deal with, because as a day job, I am a licensed advisor and a bookkeeper. So I deal with numbers and money all the time, which is exceptionally fun for me. And I'm sure some of you out there, I just heard your eyes roll, but I'm sure it would be more fun if you saw it in my office than you do normally in other offices. So anyway, tonight I have a special guest. She's a really good friend of mine, and she doesn't share enough cool things about her because there's so many, because she's very humble. So I'm going to tell you all these great, wonderful things about her, and then I'll let her introduce herself to you as well. Her name is Geeta, and she has been around the restaurant industry for many years. And there's a lot of people that we can think of that have been around the restaurant industry, but I don't think anyone can cook like her. Like, she is exceptional. She does have a very cool, specific niche of Indian food, but one of the really cool things about her that I don't know if she'll share is that although she is an amazing cook of Indian food, she is an amazing cook of any food. So it is never a problem if you're going to eat something from Geeta because it will be delicious and it can be any kind of food that you can think of. So Geeta is joining us tonight and she is going to share some of her upcoming adventures, which are so exciting and I know a lot of people are looking forward to. And without further ado, I want to introduce Geeta. Hi, Geeta.
Hi, Kathy. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I'm excited. I finally talked you into coming on the show. I know you hesitated with me, but I forced you into it finally. So share with everybody a little bit about who you are and your background and in the world of the restaurant business and anything else, because I know you've been in other adventures too as a business lady, but I know specifically you've really mastered the restaurant industry.
Well, my name is Geeta, and I have over 25 years experience in the food industry. I have owned my own restaurant years ago, and I've worked in fine dining and all different types of cuisine. And now I just like to share with everybody again my cooking.
So you, for a little while, when you sold your restaurant, you weren't entirely in the food industry in the same way, but you did stay in the industry with the jams and the sauces and stuff, which I'm hoping we can talk about tonight because they're amazing, and we could just share the different things that you were into, because you do have a business that also does the jams and the sauces, right?
Yes. I kind of put that on hold to start this new business, and then eventually I'll pick up on that again. But I create my own flavors of different jams. They're all gluten-free, different jams and spreads and hot sauces, and they're all made from scratch and all fresh ingredients.
And you've been doing that for many, many years, and I know how popular they are because you never have any left. So you will be now. I know you still are doing that a little bit, but like you said, you put it on hold for the new business. Is that something when you bring it back up, you're going to be, say somebody that's listening tonight is in a different part of Ontario or a different part of Canada, are you going to have an online store where they can do shipping and have it purchased that way?
I'm not sure yet. I haven't really thought into it that far. I will definitely be selling the sauces on the truck, though.
So that is
might
a
be
little
in
bit
the future. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So share a little bit about yourself and what you're up to.
Well, it was my dream for years that I wanted a food truck. I wanted something different. I wanted to get back into the food industry, and I've been doing a lot of catering, and it's been difficult renting a commercial kitchen and having to, cater. And I thought, well, what would be a great idea if I had a mobile kitchen, because I've been catering stag and does, weddings, birthday parties, business events, all that kind as well. So my husband and I came up with the idea that we'd get a food truck. And then we thought, everybody does Canadian food on food trucks. Why don't we do Indian? Which in this area, there is nothing like that. And then also in St. Thomas, we will be the first mobile food truck. So that's really exciting. Nice.
And are you going to be offering, I know Indian food is the predominant food that you're going to be sharing with people. Will you be offering what kind of variety are you going to be offering as a menu? Because with a food truck, I know it's one of those things where they're going to take it and go eat someplace else. So is it going to be like a full restaurant type menu, or how does that work?
It'll be, we're going to start off with a small menu at first, and the food is also fusion, so which will be familiar foods to Canadians that have never tried Indian food and they don't know the names. So we'll have fun, edgy names. We'll change up the names and things like that just to make it fun, and also that people can recognize that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, a lot of people out there that may or may not know much about Indian food, they might think that all Indian food is hot and spicy. Is that true?
Well, Indian food is well known for its spices. It doesn't have to be super spicy. There will be some dishes that will be mild, and we'll also have vegan, vegetarian options as well.
Nice.
Meat options, yeah. So there'll be something for everybody.
Nice. That's very good. So the people like me who don't like it really hot, they don't have to have it really hot, huh?
No.
Nice. Very, very cool. So tell us a little bit about the different kinds of food that some people may or may not recognize as Indian cuisine.
Or may not recognize.
Yeah, like sometimes people...
Something like the potato bombs, which we name potato bombs, they're actually named something else, potato vada, which people might not know. So I thought, okay, how about potato bombs? And they're just like a mashed potato with spices in and lots of ginger and stuff, and then dipped into a batter with chickpea flour, and then deep fried. And
very good.
Sweet and sour sauce. Yeah.
Oh, and you know, the best part is, of course, our show airs right around the time people get ready for dinner. So this will be a great show for anybody listening that's slightly hungry and they'll be wanting to try it right away. That's right. Yeah. That's right. So what other traditional Indian dishes do you think people will be able to see or sample from the truck?
I think we're going to start off with a very popular dishes, and then I'll introduce slowly different other dishes. So I'll have like samosas and Mumbai poutine and things like that, you know, butter chicken and things that people know of. And I'll have like rice bowls, burritos. So there'll be a like combination of different things, salads, different kinds of salads, corn chat. There's different things on our Facebook page already, pictures, and on our Instagram.
So I always try. I usually remember. I was going to say I always remember, but most of the time I remember to ask our guests about that. And since you brought it up, I'm glad you did. Just share with everybody where you are on Facebook, where they can find you on Facebook or Instagram, just so we don't forget.
Just look up Tikka Tomato, Tikka Tomato. That'll be on Facebook and also on Instagram.
Excellent.
And yes, yeah.
Excellent. Now, what? So some of the dishes you mentioned. What was the poutine one?
The poutine one will be. It's called Mumbai. We've named it Mumbai poutine instead of butter chicken poutine, but it's basically it will be your fries and butter chicken, green onions chopped up on top. Cilantro and drizzle with some kind of a yogurt or a crema on top.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is really good. And are any of these Geeta original?
Oh, I forgot the cheese. Of course, the cheese.
Of course, cheese. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because I know you make up some of your own recipes. So are some of these going to be your originals?
Yes. And
yeah.
like I said, slowly I'll introduce things like the burritos. That'll be in there, and that's my own recipe.
Excellent.
The fillings, yeah, and you know, there'll be other dishes too.
Very good. Very good. So we are coming up to our first break of the night, and we're going to take our very first break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to chat a little bit more, and we're going to talk to Geeta about how she got into the restaurant business and what it was like for her before, because she did have her own busy restaurant and kept herself going for many years, very busy, and then getting into how it's going to be different with the food truck in terms of who's going to be helping her with it, because we haven't talked about that yet. And there is going to be a bit of a partner in the business that's going to be helping her. So we'll talk about him a little bit. And when we come back, right, because I know Geeta knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he's going to be more than just the food sampler. I know he's going to be helping in other ways.
Yeah, of
I know
course.
there's a lot of people that volunteer to be food samplers. That's for sure. So we'll take our first break, and when we come back, we'll talk to Geeta more about the different kinds of foods that she's going to be serving, where she's going to be serving them, how you can find her and get a hold of her, and where you'll be able to see her and when. So we are going to take a break. You are listening to Financially Speaking with myself, Kathy Cook Noble, on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we're going to continue to talk to Geeta Gordon from Tikka Tomato. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Too many of us get caught up in the unreal lives of reality television and complete to acquire stuff, which is setting us up to accumulate lots of debt. We're scared, confused, and don't know who to talk to. By tuning into Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble, you'll learn tips you can use to improve your financial health, which in turn can improve your overall health and make for a very happy life. Live a life you can afford and enjoy. It is possible. Listen for Financially Speaking radio show every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. This is Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255. Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Kathy@bookkeepplus.ca. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Kathy Cook Noble on the Inspired Choices Network. You are listening to Financially Speaking, and tonight we are so blessed to have a good friend of mine, Geeta Patel Gordon, and she is the owner of the new operation, Tikka Tomato, the food truck that they are going to be putting on the road and zooming around our area. And I am so happy that I'm living in Ontario, Canada right now, because I will be around where Geeta can feed me. And I'll be able to find her. And yes, we'll have to get Keisha. We'll have to get you up to Canada, my friend, so that you can come and try this food. And some of the things we've been talking to Geeta about, just some of the foods that she's going to be offering. We're also going to talk to her about how she got into the food industry, because she did have a restaurant for many years, and that kept her super busy, I know. And a dream of hers is has always been to start her own food truck and be a mobile restaurant, essentially. And that's what we're talking to her about tonight. So Tikka Tomato is growing. She's gone from making her own sauces and jams, which are amazing, and catering food, which is, like, seriously, there's so many food this is the thing. It's so hard that there's not an app or something that we can do over the airwaves with the smell and taste, because there's so many restaurants out there. And a lot of them, some are good, some are not, and a lot of them have the same things on the menu. This is so unique and so different and so needed, because it's a different kind of food that is just spectacular. It's so good. So, Geeta, before we went to break, we just started to talk about the truck, and we haven't talked about the partner that's going to be joining you in this adventure. Is he? Are we allowed to talk about him?
Sure. That would be my husband, Alan.
Yeah.
And so my husband and I, we decided that this was going to be our semi-retirement plan, but we've decided to do it earlier. And so therefore we'll both work together and travel together 24/7.
Yeah. Which is great that you get along as well as you do, because you need to.
Yeah.
No. So tell us, how how you came. I know it was a dream of yours with the food truck, but how do you envision it, and where you're going to be, and where people can start to, especially in the Ontario area. I know for our listeners around the world that it's going to be a little bit hard for you to come out and try the food, but when you're in the area, you certainly can. And when Geeta expands and grows and maybe has the online stuff that we talked about at the beginning, they can certainly take advantage of that. So how do you envision the truck, where you're going to be, like what particular part of our market that you're going to be in our world?
We'll be planning our grand opening, launching probably mid-October, and so we're planning on staying it'll be close to winter, so we'll plan on staying and selling in St. Thomas, Ontario, and then we will expand in the summer season next year towards London and the outskirts and different events and festivities. But for now, we'd like to, St. Thomas is our community or our town, and we would like to stay in St. Thomas for now.
Excellent. And are you going to be putting Al to work on the food side of things too? Is he going to actually be doing some of the cooking, or is he going to leave that to you?
Oh, I'll be doing most of the cooking.
Yeah.
I'll be doing most of the cooking. I will probably do. Both of us will work right now. My son might help out a little bit, but for the two of us, one needs to be at the window and serving and stuff, and one needs to be cooking. So we'll have to work it out that way until we get busy enough that we can hire employees.
That's perfect. It's nice because I know the two of you so well that you have all the pieces covered between the two of you. So you're both not fighting to be cooking. You're both not fighting to be on the front. So it's perfect, actually. It's a nice compliment.
Yes, actually it is.
Yeah. And people will see that and I suspect it's going to run as smooth as anyone can possibly imagine because of that.
Yeah.
Like, really.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. So what's the tell us a little bit about the business and what's the colors going to be? Like, where are we going to find you? Are you going to be mobile all the time, or are you going to have a stationary site too?
We're looking into different locations right now in St. Thomas. First of all, we're going to need more space for our grand opening because I'm planning on having Bollywood dancers and henna artists for our grand opening. So I'm so excited about that, yes. So I'll need a little bit more space, but after that, we'll just be at local businesses around town, however things work out as far as partnerships. And what we will do is advertise on Facebook daily, so then people know exactly where we are and what times we'll be at what location.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. And the hours are going to be what days of the week, what time of the days? What are you thinking?
Right now we're planning on working every single day.
Okay.
All winter too. A lot of the food trucks that we spoke to that are in London, they shut down in the winter.
Right.
Including the two stationary ones that we have in St. Thomas, the chip wagon type.
Oh, okay.
They closed down for the winter, but we're planning on staying open.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
That's cool. So you'll be the only one, really, that is people are going to have to be able to go see, which is great.
Yeah.
Very good. And
what's more inviting in the winter when it's in the cold months is a warm curry or a warm curried soup or something like that.
Yeah.
Or a masala chai with cardamom and ginger in.
Okay, you might have to explain what that is to some of our listeners.
Oh, chai. Chai is tea.
Yep.
So Indian tea is like a milky, almost like a latte, like a milky chai.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of steep it with ginger and cardamom and just let it steep, and it tastes yummy.
So I can't say enough about how good it tastes, and that is a for sure. Like I've had your tea and your food, and it is like spectacular. But it's not even, if it was just good, that would be it. But it's actually good for you. Like you do a lot of stuff that's very healthy. So maybe share a little bit with the health side of things with it.
Yes, like any food that's cooked from scratch is healthy, right? Provided you use the right oils and things like that. But as
True.
far as the spices go, turmeric, all different spices, cumin, I can name the whole list. They have healthy properties in them, which all do different things. May lower blood pressure or, cholesterol or something like that, or boost your immune system. So there's different spices do different things. So combination of those will keep you healthy through the winter even, or all year round for that matter of fact.
And that's one of the things, like, I know anybody that they always talk about how good it tastes, but that was one of the things we didn't mention, that all of Geeta's food is from scratch. So you're not going to get, it's not going to be any artificial flavoring. It's going to be all very fresh. And I am so making myself hungry, just by the way. Keisha, how are you doing out there? Are you getting hungry too?
And a lot of people, a lot of people ask me if, how come restaurant food is so red? It's because it's red food coloring. That's what it is. Right. It makes it so red. So I'm not going to put any food coloring, anything like that, preservatives or nothing like that. Everything will be made from scratch and locally sourced as much as possible from our local farms in our area.
Nice. So, that's exciting. So we're going to see you out and about the middle of October, and we're going to see Al out and about driving, I suspect.
Yep.
And where are you going to be able to, I guess, go around, like you see food trucks to different businesses for, like, the lunch trucks, Are you going to be able to go and serve lunches and dinners and so forth like that?
Not as much as the lunch trucks move around that fast. It'll be more like, tomorrow at lunchtime we'll be at Kathy Cook Noble's office between 2 and 5 or 11 and 3 or whatever it happened to be, and then we'll switch locations for the evening, that type of thing.
Oh, okay. Which is a really good idea.
Downtown core, yes, because of that downtown core is busy with the offices during the day, and then the evening it's a different location and different vibe, different atmosphere.
And there is space by my office too, just so you know.
Okay, that sounds
Keisha,
good.
come visit me now. You're gonna have to come visit now to Canada. Anybody out there that's not in Canada or Ontario is gonna have to come up for a visit. And it's a good time too, because our winter's beautiful. So
it's gorgeous. Yes.
Yeah. So what else have you got? We're coming up to our second break, so we've got about a minute or so before we have to take a break. But maybe we'll talk about some of the stuff after the break that we're going to discuss, like what other things you've got going on, what other plans you have for growing, like you mentioned about hiring people and expanding. So maybe there's franchising in the future. I don't know, but we can. Have you thought about different ideas for what your future plans will be?
We've already been talking about second truck.
Yeah.
We've already been talking about second truck, so we'll see how things go. And, you can only go, day at a time, and hopefully things work out well and we can expand.
Excellent. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. And how did I know this was a dream of yours, was it always to do the Indian food or the food truck?
No, actually that just came about as St. Thomas grew, and because the restaurant that I had, which I sold 20 years ago, was a diner, but everything again I made from scratch, but it was all Canadian food, because at that time, 20, 30 years ago, that was what the population asked for, right? And now people are coming from bigger cities, moving in to St. Thomas, a lot of younger population that kind of demand different ethnic foods. And there's no Indian food here in our town, no restaurants, nothing like that. There's Thai food, but no Indian food. So then we just thought, from doing catering, and again, the demand for Indian food, because I was catering Canadian and Indian, but it was always 99% Indian that people would ask for, and that's how it came about. That, why don't we just do Indian food, but with a twist, kind of.
Right.
So,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're up to our second break tonight. It goes by fast. But when we come back, we're going to talk to Geeta about her plans, some more plans that she has for the future. We're going to talk to her about the help that she's going to get, and just on Tikka Tomato, the sequel, I guess we'll call it. So when we come back,
Okay.
we'll continue to talk to Geeta. You are listening to Financially Speaking with myself, Kathy Cook-Noble, on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we come back, we are going to talk to Geeta Patel Gordon about Tikka Tomato. Stay tuned and be careful. Your tummy's going to grumble. We'll be right back.
Too many of us get caught up in the unreal lives of reality television and complete to acquire stuff, which is setting us up to accumulate lots of debt. We're scared, confused, and don't know who to talk to. By tuning into Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook-Noble, you'll learn tips you can use to improve your financial health, which in turn can improve your overall health and make for a very happy life. Live a life you can afford and enjoy. It is possible. Listen for Financially Speaking radio show every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Money is complicated, right? Actually, no, it's not. You don't have to be a trader on Wall Street to get a handle on your money. TV shows often instill fear to keep you believing you can't understand it or do anything yourself. If dealing with your finances brings up a lot of other F words, then you need to read All Ladies Should Use the F Word, A Guide to Loving Your Finances by Kathy Cook-Noble. Kathy helps you take control of your finances and leave the other F word, fear, in the dust. This is Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook-Noble. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Kathy@bookkeepplus.ca. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Kathy Cook-Noble, your host on Financially Speaking here at the Inspired Choices Network. And we have had the pleasure of chatting with my good friend Geeta Patel Gordon about her latest adventure and endeavor in the food industry, where she is introducing her mobile restaurant, the food truck that is Tikka Tomato. So, Geeta, before we went to break, we talked about the many delicious dishes that you're going to be making and the healthy side of them, because everything is from scratch and well thought out. And I know you have a special place in your heart for the gluten-free. So you always make sure everything's nice and healthy and gluten-free for those people that need that as well, including yourself. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I'm telling any secrets on that, but so I know your parents and your mom is a fantastic cook as well. So how did you get started? And we have a question from the chat room as well about whether or not entrepreneurism runs in your family. So share with us a little bit about how you got started in business and in cooking.
Well, I was born and raised in England, and my parents owned 2 stores, and I'm the oldest of 4, so I always helped my dad out in the stores, and I learned different things at a young age. And also, at home, I started cooking and being in the kitchen with my mom, because I had the 3 younger siblings, so I would help her out in the kitchen. So I learned to make rotis and all that kind of stuff since I was like 9 years old. But maybe at the time I didn't think that was the best idea. But slowly graduated into my interest in cooking. And I learned so much from my mom as she learned from her mom. So, a lot of authentic dishes do come down through generations, and I kind of put my own twist on them.
So did you realize when you were younger, like a lot of kids, if they can make, craft dinner, or if they can make a sandwich, then that's their idea of cooking. You were not doing that. You were making much more elaborate things. So did you
Yes.
realize at
Yeah.
the time that wasn't that wasn't what everybody else your age was doing, that the other kids were just getting away with a peanut butter sandwich and you were doing much more elaborate things, so that you knew that you had a gift in that area?
Um, like in our culture, the girls usually do learn to cook. In that generation, I mean, it's totally different now, but in our generation, with the girl, we always helped out in the kitchen. We always helped out, so it wasn't like, oh, the other kids, are eating peanut butter and I'm the only one. It's most Indian girls learned to cook. Some were more interested than others. And
Yeah.
also my three siblings now all own businesses.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's all in your genetic code for
Must
owning your
be.
own business.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah.
So, what about your kids? So, for people listening, Geeta has 2 sons, and do they do any cooking, or how are they in the kitchen?
I have 2 boys, so I taught both my boys cooking and looking at someday they're going to have to be on their own, which meant ironing or whatever. And so they all learned everything like that. I taught them. My oldest son isn't as interested in the kitchen. My youngest son, AJ, he is. And by the way, he's the graphic artist that does all our branding, logo, and start to finish. So he's doing all
Right.
that too. He just
So
graduated from university.
So it is a family. It's more than a family business with just you and Al. You have your son in there that's doing the graphics design work.
Yeah, actually he's doing
Yeah.
all the social media. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So it's staying.
Yeah.
It really is staying in the family, and when you expand your business, and you just keep with from what you did when you were 9 with your dad. Now you and your kids are sharing in that adventure yourself, which is really cool. Because they helped you in the other restaurant that you had before, didn't they?
Yes. I had
Yeah.
a hotel and restaurant, so the boys helped me. As I was a single parent, I was owning and operating 2 businesses and raising 2 boys by myself. So
Yeah.
yes, I got the boys to help me out as they got older. Yeah.
What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge for you that you're going to overcome and really feel like you nailed it? So what's your big goal for you with the Tikka Tomato business?
With the food truck, trying to get people. Maybe it's trying to get everyone to try the food. Some people are a little hesitant, right? And just as they're just maybe scared or afraid, have never tried it ever, or never tried any other type of food ever. So maybe if people could just, and from time to time, we'll probably lineups. If there's lineups outside the truck, we'll be giving out samples, and that gives people ideas of what normally they wouldn't buy, or and things like that. So yeah.
So your big goal for yourself is really to share the different and tell me if I'm not putting words in your mouth, but is it to share that flavor and that type of cultural food that we really don't have in this area? I know there's a lot of places in other parts of Canada that have a bigger concentration of ethnic foods, but we really don't have a lot in Southwestern Ontario here. So your goal is to share that with the rest of the world, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Or even just St. Thomas, like just even our town. I know it's a small town, city, and so even, people just trying out different things. And same with culture. Like I want to really do the Bollywood dancing and the henna artists and, just a cultural experience.
Because, for people who aren't familiar with the Indian culture, I am by no means an expert on it, but I've gotten to learn so much in the years I've been fortunate enough to be friends with Geeta, and the colors and is beautiful, like the materials and the colors, and it's just such a beautiful culture. And maybe you can speak to that a little bit, Geeta, and how it all fits together, like the flavors and the colors, everything just is vibrant, I guess.
Oh, of the outfits. The saris.
Everything,
the saris are
the
all
colors,
beautifully
the jewelry,
colored, embroidered, and everything. and the pantsuits are very elaborate, right? And
Yeah.
showy, kind of, and worn for like special occasions and weddings and things like that. Yes, and expensive too.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
and matching
So
jewelry and everything. So we get really dressed up when it's
exactly.
special occasions. Yeah, yeah.
So we do have a question for you from the chat room, and that is, what do you feel is the magic of Indian food as you've experienced it?
Flavor, like just the magic of Indian food. For me, it's comfort food. It's also flavor. Like I can make a Canadian dish, but I have to have it. I can't have it plain. It's got to have some kind of flavor, even if it's herbs and extra different kinds of, not necessarily Indian spices, but some other kinds.
Yeah.
So I think it's
So,
just flavor.
and by flavor, you're not necessarily talking about the hot, spicy flavor. There's so many
not at
different
all.
flavors. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Not
Although,
even Indian spices at all, but it just has to have flavor, like nice flavor.
right. And on the hot meter, since we're on it, because I know a lot of people have the impression that Indian food is hot, and then you're right, a lot of it is, and I do love that, so I'm okay with it. But you can handle a whole lot more heat, I think, with
Probably not more than you, Kathy, because you do pretty good.
I do. I do. You brought me a long way.
So you and I are probably on the same level.
Nice. So, do you have a favorite dish? Is there any particular dish that either you're making or that you're going to be making for the truck that you're making because it's your favorite dish, or do you have one that you favor over another? When you're for your comfort food, which one do you go to?
I have a comfort food, but it's not going to be on the truck as we're just not putting, this, the problem, it's not really a problem, but Indian food has so many dishes. Like I started off making lists and lists and lists of things that I wanted to make, but obviously I can't make, 50 items on a food truck and have all those items available. So I had to condense and condense and condense. So we're starting off small because, again, you don't know how busy you're going to be in that kind of thing and work around it. But one of my comfort foods it's called katolot, and it's almost like a grits kind of texture. And every time I get a cold or I have the flu, my mom will make it for me and send it over.
Aw, nice. That's awesome. We are coming up to our third and final break of the night. So when we take our break, we're going to come back and we're going to ask Geeta for her final thoughts, what she's planning on. Well, she's not planning on anything, actually. She's going to be working 7 days a week. I just know it. She's going to be out there in the food truck and sharing the Indian food experience with so many people. So she's going to be working, her and Al. I don't know if Al knows this, but if you're listening, Al, you're going to be working 7 days a week. Just be ready. So,
he's the one suggested it. So.
That's right. There you go.
He's
perfect.
Like, we're going to have to work so many winters to pay for the truck.
That's right. Have a nap today, Al, because it's coming.
I know. For sure.
I want to ask you when we come back about the holidays and what special holiday food, if any, that will be on the truck, or what special holiday food that is typical in Indian culture when we come around, because you're going to be starting and launching the halfway through October, so you'll have a Thanksgiving and a Christmas holiday right away.
Yeah.
So I want to ask
you. Diwali is right there at that time, October. Yes.
Exactly. So when we come back,
one of the biggest holidays. Yeah.
So we're going to get you to explain that when you come back, because some of our listeners might not know, and then we'll get you to share some of the special cuisine that surrounds the holidays, because I know food's a big part of the holidays. So when we come back, we have a few more minutes with Geeta. You are listening to Financially Speaking with myself, Kathy Cook-Noble, on the Inspired Choices Network. And when we return, we're going to have our last few minutes with Geeta Patel Gordon and talk to her about Tikka Tomato and her latest adventure in the food services, which is going to be her food truck. And you will see it roaming around southwestern Ontario very, very soon. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Too many of us get caught up in the unreal lives of reality television and complete to acquire stuff, which is setting us up to accumulate lots of debt. We're scared, confused, and don't know who to talk to. By tuning into Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble, you'll learn tips you can use to improve your financial health, which in turn can improve your overall health and make for a very happy life. Live a life you can afford and enjoy. It is possible. Listen for Financially Speaking radio show every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Money is complicated, right? Actually, no, it's not. You don't have to be a trader on Wall Street to get a handle on your money. TV shows often instill fear to keep you believing you can't understand it or do anything yourself. If dealing with your finances brings up a lot of other F words, then you need to read All Ladies Should Use the F Word, A Guide to Loving Your Finances by Kathy Cook Noble. Kathy helps you take control of your finances and leave the other F word, fear, in the dust. This is Financially Speaking radio show with financial advisor and educator Kathy Cook Noble. To participate in the program, call in the U.S. 815-880-8255, Canada 613-800-8736, or Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Kathy at bookkeepplus.ca. Now back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Kathy Cook Noble, your host here on the Inspired Choices Network of Financially Speaking. And every week we tackle a topic that we usually, it always connects to money. We can always connect it to money. But every week we have a topic that we try and tackle and break it down to make it nice and easy for everybody to understand. And I hope that's what we're accomplishing here. That is certainly our goal. I think everybody can understand their own money and their own finances, and I try very hard to make sure that it's understandable in plain language so that the industry doesn't confuse and stress people out. And on that same line of thinking, my friend Geeta has a new adventure with a food truck, and her business is Tikka Tomato, and she's going to be going around and sharing some of the beautiful, beautiful cuisines that the Indian culture has. And she breaks down the Indian culture and the Indian food in a way that's so easy to understand and easy to try and makes it just so that you're going to be able to really try Indian food for the first time if you've never tried it, or try it again if you haven't tried it in so many years you don't remember. That she'll be able to share with you the beautiful culture and the cuisines that she knows so very well. And that's what I think is going to be really cool, is she's going to take something that most people don't understand, like the spices. They don't understand what's hot, if it's gluten-free, if it's good for you. And she breaks it all down and shares with you all those really good things. So, Geeta, before we wrap up for the night, I want to know, and our listeners want to know, one, just remind us how we can follow the truck and follow you, and make sure we know how to get a hold of you, and also what you're going to do about the holidays and the food, and if there's any special holiday food that is in the season, because I know we just talked about that for a second before the break. So share with us some of the insights you have.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy.
You're eating, aren't you, Geeta? You're sampling the food already on me.
No, I'm not. I'm not. No, we're talking about the holidays. Okay.
We're talking about the holidays.
Yes. You're talking about Indian holidays or Thanksgiving coming up?
Well, you have both coming up, because you're gonna launch in October, so you're gonna have Thanksgiving, you're gonna have Christmas, and then you're gonna have Indian holidays. So what will you be doing for that? Well,
Thanksgiving will be open. I'm not sure Thanksgiving Day yet, probably not, but we'll be open before and after. And maybe we may have a special turkey sandwich, Indian style. Who knows what I can create out of that. And also our like the Hindu holiday Diwali is probably the biggest
Yep.
festival or holiday of the year. So that's coming up end of October, November, and
Nice.
that's the Festival of Lights. And
Very
it
good.
usually
And
goes on for 9 days or so, and there's lots of food. There's big food in that, big meals, lots and lots of sweets, Indian sweets, celebrations, dancing, fireworks. They light all the candles around and do colors and all kinds of things for that. And then Christmas, of course, is coming up. We'll see how busy we are again with the food truck. We're not sure in bad weather how will that will work out. So that will be a bit of a trial this year, and we'll
Yep.
see how that goes.
Nice.
But there'll be lots of catering before, like for the holidays and stuff.
Okay.
I've
Very
already
good.
started booking events, large events already.
Very good. That's exciting. And people will be able to find you where, just to give them a little bit more information?
The best place to find us and know what's going on is on Facebook. Just look up Tikka Tomato, Tikka Tomato, and all the information will be there, where we will be located, the different times, and all that.
Exciting.
We'll even put menus up, yeah.
Nice. And we just have like a minute or two before we are done for the night. What is any final thoughts or anything that you'd like people to take away that you want them to know, either about you, the business, the culture? I'm leaving it open for you.
Final thoughts. Just that I'm really happy that this is finally happening for us. It's been a long time coming. We had a lot of red tape to go through. So it's been, we just kind of stuck it out, and we wanted to do it in St. Thomas, and it's happening. So we're super excited, super pumped about getting started. We can't wait.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
And you're launching mid-October, which is really just a month from now.
Yeah, we don't have a definite date, but that's roughly where we're at right now.
Very good. And that, which is still, there's, sorry, that was, see, my dog, he never barks, and he's excited now too. It's exciting because the time goes so fast that a month is like a blink of an eye, it feels like, anymore. So we have lots to look forward to in our area. And for those of you who are listening that are not from our area but are planning on visiting our area, then you now have a great new spot that you can come and try Indian cuisine. Or if you already love Indian food like I do, then you just go right there and order up, because Geeta will be ready. Geeta and Al will be there, and they'll be ready for you. So keep an eye out for Tikka Tomato. It has been such a pleasure having you, Geeta. I'm so excited that I finally got you on the air so we could talk about this.
Thank you for having me so much, yes.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And I'm so looking forward to it. I will be one of the first customers there, depending on where you are, how fast I can run. I'm excited and looking forward to it. We are always here on Inspired Choices Network to share new ideas, new adventures, new opportunities with everybody. And on Financially Speaking, we're here to break it down and make it easy to understand. And that is my role and my goal in life, is to make it very, very easy and understandable for people. So tune in next week, because we are back every week and we are going to share other financial concepts. And next week we might even have another guest. I haven't had them for such a long time. I think I feel like I've neglected everybody. But,
oh, no.
But stay tuned for next week, and we will be back on Financially Speaking, and we will be sharing more information on the network. And please check out the other shows on Inspired Choices Network, because there's truly a lot of great information and great hosts and content that you will be able to, as Christine says, light up your life, or how she says it is better, I know. But please join us again next week, and we will be right back and talking to you again.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Financially Speaking Radio Show. Kathy Cook Noble will return next Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by making the choices that bring you all that you desire.